In today's Power Query challenge we will clean up some data. Titles on top, comments in between, empty columns just in case. Before I touch Power Query, let's sketch the logic. We need to find where the real headers start, then push missing values into place, keep only real data rows, and get rid of empty columns. And that's it. Don't forget, Power Query doesn't care about reports. It wants a clean, normalized table. So our goal today isn't to click buttons, it's to turn a report back into data in a way that survives the next expert. If you often work with ERP systems, SAP especially, this kind of table is painfully familiar. It's not really a table. It's a report pretending to be data. Okay, removing top rows is easy. You just click Remove Top Rows, type a number and move on. That works exactly once, because the moment someone changes the reporter layout, everything breaks. So instead of asking how many rows should I remove, I ask a better question. How do I know where the real table actually starts? In this file, the answer is simple. The real header contains the word date in the first column. So let's find that instead of guessing. I'll transform the first column into a list and then get the position of date value using list position of function. So source1 in square brackets takes the first column as a list position of searches that list for the value date and returns the row number where it finds it. Then we can manually type table skip function or use the user interface. Remove top rows. Type any number you want and change it to our dynamic formula. Now table skip removes everything above that row. So this step doesn't say skip 7 rows. It says skip everything until the table actually begins. That's a big difference. Now that we are confident the first row is the real header, we can promote it. The important part isn't the function itself, it's when we use it, so sequence matters a lot. At this point, the table still looks off. Some rows have dates, some don't. But we know something about the data. Every order belongs to a date. If it's missing, it's not random, it's implied. So we make that rule explicit. The values in some columns, like course name and hours, are placed just below our dates. So we can fill them up, because in a lot of ERP reports that date appears before the detail rows, and the rows below inherit it. This step isn't about fixing blanks, it's about encoding how the report actually works. That's an important habit. Power Query doesn't understand your data. You teach it the rules. Looks a bit better. The next step is my favorite, because it's where people usually overcomplicate things. Instead of filtering by text or checking for blanks, we use the strongest signal we have. A real row must have a real date, so we filter on that. Let's try to combine table select rows and value is function. This keeps actual data row and also removes titles, comments, totals, repeated headers and so on. Now let's take a little break so you can think about your own data for a second. Which column in your tables plays the same role as date does here? The one that decides whether a row is real or just a report noise. Once you spot that column, cleaning suddenly gets much easier. One step closer. And yes, you could delete empty columns manually. But then you'll do it again next week, and again and again. So instead we let Power Query decide. What this does in simple English: get all column names, check each column, if it has at least one real value, keep it, if it's completely empty, drop it. And now the query adapts automatically. Now the table is clean, all that's left is naming things properly. And yes, this step could be dynamic too, but analysts know when to stop. At this point, the structure is stable, the logic is solid, and the names are cosmetic. Good enough is often the correct answer. So this wasn't about Power Query tricks. It was about how to sync the text structure instead of assuming it, turn business rules into logic, filter by meaning, not appearance, and automate decisions that repeat. If your query breaks because one row was added, one column appeared, a comment changed, that's not bad luck, that's fragile logic. If this way of thinking clicks for you, let me know. And don't forget, the more likes the video gets, the more challenges I'll cover in future tutorials. See ya!